A Russian attack on Ukraine's second-largest city of Kharkiv on Friday morning killed one person and injured at least 60 people according to the State Emergency Service of Ukraine. According to Assosicted press, Kharkiv Mayor Ihor Terekhov stated that 20 apartment buildings and 30 private houses were damaged as a result of the strike. Terekhov also said that according to preliminary information, the strikes on Kharkiv were carried out by ballistic missiles equipped with cluster munitions.
Launching expensive Taurus missiles, if Ukraine receives them from its allies, is not worth it via the Crimean bridge illegally built by Russia, as it is not profitable from an economic point of view. This was stated by Major General of the Ukrainian Armed Forces Reserve Serhiy Krivonos on the air of Fabrika Novosti. In fact, it is better to burn one oil refinery, which will bring a much greater effect. Let's burn the Novorossiysk oil terminal, which brings Russia huge amounts of money by trading stolen Ukrainian grain, liquefied gas and oil with countries and coming out of the Black Sea, than to play this bridge, the officer said. In his opinion, if the corresponding task had been set correctly, the bridge could have been liquidated long ago. But when the people responsible for the processes are those who do not understand simple things, it is quite difficult to demand anything from them. War is economics, and we should not rely on populist slogans and jet ski raids in Crimea, but not count on those blows that paralyze the Russian economy. Krivonos believes. He added that in war there is a priority to strike at targets that are more sensitive to the enemy. In his opinion, there is no need to use very expensive missiles to destroy a bridge that the Russians can restore. Everyone thinks that the missile is a miracle weapon, but it does not have that much explosive against the metal structure that this bridge is. Demolish 2 or 3 spans? Yes. They'll restore it in a month? Yes. Everyone will clap their hands and say, "How cool! What next?" The general said. He emphasizes that, for example, it is much more difficult to destroy a cracking unit at some oil refinery, and the effect of this for the Ukrainian armed forces will be much more significant than damage to the Kerch bridge. Populism is unnecessary in war. Practicality is needed. In war, money must also be counted, Krivanos emphasized. As media reported, Friedrich Merz, who will soon become Chancellor of Germany, promised Ukraine German Taurus missiles. However, the Secretary-General of the SPD party allied with Merz, Matthias Mirsch, believes that Merz may change his mind when he learns some secrets about the missiles. According to him, Germany does not want to provoke an escalation of the war, much less to be a direct participant in it. As Mirsch noted, this is why Taurus missiles have not yet been delivered to Ukraine. Military expert, retired colonel of the armed forces of Ukraine, Roman Svitan, commented on the likelihood of a new offensive by the aggressor country, Russia, from Belarus. The Russians will definitely not go for such an adventure, and we will not allow even an attempt to carry out something similar. Now we have serious fortifications along the northern border with Belarus, and several tens of thousands of our troops are deployed there, he emphasized in an interview with Glavred. The expert says that the Ukrainian armed forces will now not even allow Russian troops to approach the border. They will be destroyed on Belarusian territory. And if something moves in our direction, then, like a light in a bathhouse, the entire Belarusian economy will turn off, because we will deal a serious blow to Belarusian oil refineries and railways. Belaruskali, Mozir oil refinery, Naftan, all traction substations on the railway, overpasses and the rest, he did not rule out. The interlocutor noted that all these Belarusian enterprises will be destroyed within a few hours. We have such an opportunity. It's not a flight of several hundred kilometers to the Urals, but, let's say, to the Mozir oil refinery, only 40 kilometers. One salvo of Smersh, and that's it. The oil refinery will be gone. Lukashenko understands all this perfectly well, and he will not allow such a situation. Otherwise, his rule in Belarus will end. The analyst explained. He is also confident that talk about Russian-Belarusian exercises in the fall is simply information waves. Perhaps in this way, Russia is trying to scare our European partners who could be deployed along the Belarusian border as part of peacekeeping missions in order to free our troops and allow them to carry out combat missions in the eastern direction. The Russians understand that these processes are currently underway, negotiations are progressing, and that is why they raised this issue. Svitan added, "Let us recall that about 14 new units consisting of Belarusian military and Wagnerites have been created in Belarus. These units may be used to support Russian troops in the Kursk region in February.